We're in a little village called Sheffield. Not the Sheffield that's famous for the stainless steel cutlery, but no. Actually, I've had a drive around and there's not a lot here, other than the cafe. I went to the cafe, it was really busy, very popular. Sheffield Pies. We've got a pie down here, look at that, it's full of grease. And we're going to do a true in-the-truck pie survey shortly. Now, let's see what we've got in the workshop. Let me just get started. I'm not too sure how good the internet is here, so we'll have to wait and see how well this live stream works. I've driven for about an hour to get to Sheffield to do this pie review, and there was a there we are. Look, there was a forecast of only 10% rain. Guess what? Oh, it stopped. It was raining. It's not raining anymore, which is nice. We might actually migrate to the outside of the truck shortly. We'll see how things go. Right, so we got in the truck today. We've got Simon Rawl. Morning, Andy and crew. Good morning, Simon. Mike Bazansky. Good morning from Virginia, everybody. Good morning, Mike. Welcome back, sir. Roger Heaps. Good morning, Andy and crew, and welcome back, Roger, as always. It was a most enjoyable pint in Invercargill the other night. Much enjoyed that. Thank you for joining us. A mechanics. What's that? Mechanics Key Vlogs. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, sir. Simon Roll, hit the like, guys. Absolutely, hit the like this morning. Oh my word, who have we got? We've got George Bonnie 90. Hello, everybody. Good morning, George. Welcome back. Apologies for the weird camera views. It's about the only way I can set it up in the car. Sheldon. Morning, Sheldon. Sheldon and Jamie and myself had planned a pie review in Oamaru, but we ran out of time, and my sincere apologies, Sheldon. I had to hit the road and I was running a bit late. You're going to find out shortly why I was late. Yes, I'm not going to give too much away because there's a bit of a guessing game a bit later on for you. And Sheldon, you're not allowed to tell them, okay? Right. Tom H. Morning, Andy. Morning, Tom. And Purple Monkey 1974. Hi, Ez. Good morning, Purple Monkey. So you may be wondering why I'm not donning the Teng Tools cap at the moment. Well, there was a reason for that. Yesterday I managed to call in, and it was all organised in advance, which is most unlike me, called in to Copperhead Road Hair Salon. I did, where I had a booking to have a bit of a trim, a bit of a tidy up. So I thought I'd show you the great work they did, and I'm just going to find you. Yes, Taylor was the young lady that did my hair again, and I think she's done a fantastic job. Look at that. She put it up quite a bit higher than normal, but you know, what the hell? Such is life. I'll cope with it. Broad shoulders and all that, so feel free to comment. But no, she did a very tidy job, even better than the first time around actually. And once she'd finished laughing as to how long my hair had grown. Who else have we got? Connor K. Morning, Andy. Interested to know what's under the tarp. I bet you all are. Okay, so what should we do first? Should we do the... Yes, let's go and pop outside. I'll take you outside. I'll turn the engine off. There we go. Nice and quiet now. Now, I've got you precariously placed on the dash, so just bear with me. Jeez, look at that. Okay, turning you around. That was close up, wasn't it? Scary. Okay, so heading outside, and this is Sheffield. This is one of the main streets down Sheffield, and the cafe is just down there, about as far as you can see, where that cherry tree is, somewhere around there. Now, on the back of, oh, hang on, bear with me. We'll close that. On the back of the ute, we have a thing. It's quite high and it's very heavy. We had to use a forklift to load it on. Now the shape might be a little bit deceiving because there's other stuff in the back, and there's more things to go in the back of the ute before this journey's over. But there you go, I'll give you a little pan round. So what do you think might be under that tarp? I'll do a shot from the front to give you an idea just how high this thing is. I only just got in the car park last night, actually. Quite impressive. There you go, look. So it's pretty high up. So have a guess what might be under that tarp. I've been after one for quite some time. Sheldon, you can't tell them. Right, let's head back in. In fact, as soon as it stopped raining, I'll turn you around. I'm just going to sort the old tripod out because it's not raining at the moment, so we can do this outside. So you got to bear with me. I've got to get set up again. Jeez. There we go. Right. I reckon that'll work. This is going to be a lot of fun. Back in a second. Right, we've got the laptop. I need a jacket. Hang on. God, there's all sorts going on this morning. Right, it's not particularly warm, to be honest. Look at that. That's what you call a ponytail, isn't it? Jeez. Okay, Andy Mechanic jacket is going on because it's not very warm at all. We'll get back to the comments in a second. Right, we'll get the cap on now. Hang on. Not easy. There we go. How's that? That's going to work. That's going to work. Right, hang on. What a weird pie review. What a weird live stream. Okay, now where do we get to? Let's have a little look. We're precariously perched on the bonnet, as always. It's going to level you up. There we go. Dum 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 dum. Right, Tom H. Good morning, Andy. Well, good morning, Tom. Purple Monkey, hi, I've done that one. Sorry, Connor K, done that one. Purple Monkey, another lathe. Almost another lathe. You're very, very close. Simon Roll, is it a mill? Simon, you just seem to know everything, don't you? It is a milling machine. It's a single phase. And, well, I was in Sheldon's workshop earlier in the week. And, oh, what have we got? Nice, riding in the rain. In Sheldon's workshop in Oamaru, fantastic place, very envious. Got lots of really cool engineering machinery down there, and he knows how to use it too, which is always a good thing. Now, sat in the corner, just by one of the doors into the main workshop, was a little mill, and I spotted it, and it's single phase, which is obviously what's going to work for me. I haven't got three phase down in my workshop, and I had a sneaky word with Sheldon and said, "Do you still use it?" And he went, "No." That sounds promising. And I said, "Would you like to sell it?" And he ummed and ahed for quite some time. It wasn't until the following day that I knew that we could strike a deal. And he said, "Make me an offer." So I did. And I thought, well, I'm going to have to, be quite respectful on the price. It looked pretty good. Obviously, it's well looked after with Sheldon using it. And he accepted my offer, which I was very grateful for. I couldn't really go any higher than that. That was the only sort of spare budget I had. But yeah, we shook hands, and then promptly later on that morning, actually got it loaded into the ute, which was an absolute palaver because it was already full of stuff in the back, so I had to rejig. Now I've got the wheel of death on my laptop, so hopefully you guys are still going. Yo, we're going again. That's cool. So Simon, you are correct, but what we'll do is we'll let Sheldon, if you're still there, Sheldon, hopefully you are, if you want to tell people a bit more about the milling machine, what it is, how long you'd had it, that kind of stuff in the comments, that would be great, because I didn't really ask too many questions, to be honest. Now then, who else have we got? Pete, good morning, Andy and crew. How have you been? It's a bit for me, so a bit late for me, is it? A bit for me, sorry. It's been a bit. Oh, sorry. It's been a bit for me. Sorry, Pete. That's all right. You you can't make all the live streams. Purple Monkey, nice to go. The new Tool Girl under the tarp. That would be hilarious, wouldn't it? That's not. I did put a post on Facebook as well, and I've had comments very much like that. Could you imagine Mrs. Mechanic's surprise if I rocked up with a couple of Tool Girls under the tarpaulin? Yes. That would not go down too well, I don't think. Not at the moment. Right, Matterwicks, hi, where are you? I'm in Sheffield. That's not Sheffield, UK. This is Sheffield, just about an hour west of Christchurch. So I went for a bit of a drive this morning because I did some Googling and I found a really good pie shop, basically called Sheffield Pies. In fact, I should bring the menu out. We'll go through the menu in a minute. Purple Monkey 1974. Matterwicks, Sheffield. Yes, that's right. Simon Roll, the shape, is it a Bridgeport? Right, I don't think it's a Bridgeport, but Sheldon's going to tell us when he wakes up. Connor K, nice on the purchase. Did it come with all the tools? It certainly came with some cutters and other bits and pieces. It's got a normal chuck in there as well, so I can do drilling with it if need be. So that's pretty handy, having another drilling machine as well. But yeah, pretty good. Right, let me grab me coffee because it's going to get cold in the car. Hang on. Really, really, really is one of those weird live streams, isn't it? A lot better out here than sat in the car, though. So, the pie's in the bag. That's from Sheffield Pies, world famous, I have to add. World famous pies, so they say. Holy moly, there's lots of pies there. And it did seem very popular. I did consider doing the live stream outside on one of the picnic tables, but there was no umbrellas or anything, and it was actually pouring. It was getting quite bad, was the rain at that point, so I bought admission there. Inside was way too busy to do a live stream. There'd have been a lot of distractions going on. But what have we got here? Classics, gourmet. They even do fruit pies, and they do pie packs. Wow. All sorts of stuff. Look at this. Yeah, you can pause that and have a read through at some point. If you're ever in the area, then you can call in and get yourself a really cool pie. I could read them all. I'll read the classics. How's that? We've got mince, mince and cheese, steak, New York pepper steak, steak and cheese, egg and bacon, traditional chicken, sausage roll. That's not a pie, is it? And it's nothing like an English sausage roll, by the way. Mixed savouries by the dozen. Or family meat pies, obviously the bigger ones. For the gourmet pies, just out of interest, because there's quite a few of these, they do a Sheffield Supreme, which is steak, bacon, cheese and onion, chicken apricot and camembert. They do a country chicken, a roast pork and apple sauce. That sounds really good. Butter chicken, a garlic roasted vegetables, venison, steak and onion marmalade. Sorry, steak and onion marmalade, yep. Steak and garlic mushrooms, spicy Mexican, not for me, I know that now. Lambs, fry and bacon. Ooh, nice. Venison and whiskey relish. Sheffield pasty, a speciality pie of the week. So they do one different pie every week as well. And well, that's about it really. Yep. Join our loyalty club, buy 12 pies and we'll give you the 13th free, so you get a baker's dozen. Very nice. So there you go. Now, Sheffield, just out of interest, is not very far from the infamous Springfield. Now, those that may remember, I did a Rescue Charlotte series, and we called in at the cafe in Springfield. I'm not sure if we had a pie, but we certainly got a coffee. And they are also a famous cafe, but not for the same reasons. Their customer service, as legend says, is the worst in New Zealand. And we got a little taste of that on that video, so if you've not seen it, check it out. Right, we're going to go in with a pie because it's going to be getting cold. It's pre-warmed. I'm quite pleased actually it's not one that I'm going to eat in the car. I was dreading eating this in the car because, well, it's already falling apart. Very, very sort of that fluffy pastry stuff. Look at that. It looks very appetizing, but it's gonna, I get the distinct impression it's all gonna fall apart. and you wouldn't want to be eating this whilst you're driving. You definitely have to stop to eat one of these. Look at the top. Very nice, very well made. Jeez. Lots of bits falling off again. And little test underneath, it's very soggy in the middle as well. Now don't forget, they've cooked this. So this is how they want the pie to be presented. So it may all be about the flavour. You know, the structural integrity may have been compromised. Oh my word, what's going on here? Hang on. Just to give us an excellent flavour. So I'm going to go in, so I can get all the bits off my book. So taste, stroke, flavour first. Here we go. Wow. That's nice, and it's got cheese on the top, on the outside of the pie. That's what's breaking off. And there's cheese inside, interlaced with the steak too. I like that. That's good. It's going to go quick. And the lid's hanging in there. The seal hasn't broken yet, so we're doing all right. A lot of crust though. So, taste, stroke, flavour. Oh, we have got a breakage now. Look at that. The bonding has failed. Look. So, taste, flavour, pretty good. First bite, really good. I'm going to give it a 9. I actually really like that. I've got my Forge pen with me today. Look. Structure, stroke, Foley Partners. Well, it's not doing too well at the moment. Oh, look at that. We've got a massive lift on the cheesy bit. Super crunchy. There you go, look. Little sneaky peek inside the pie. It is starting to flow. Oh my word, it's starting to flow a little bit. But to be fair, we've got no leakage, which is always a good sign. But absolutely bombarded by bits of pastry all over the bonnet. Let's do the runnability test before it gets too cold. So 45 degrees. Turning it round, there you go, you can see what's going on. Is it going to flow out? We did have a little bit of flow earlier on, but it might have been more of an ooze from biting into it. So it's hanging in there, isn't it? We've got no movement. That's a good sign. Look at the meat. Big chunks of meat, but there is also quite a bit of gravy as well. You can see a huge pool of gravy on this side. Tasty meat there, very good. Right, runnability was very good score. We'll give it, I think we'll give it an 8 for that. That was excellent. Meat quality, okay. Another chunk of meat there, look, 2 bits. Very good. How's the internet, by the way? Are we really glitchy? Is it really bad? It doesn't look too bad from where I am. What else have we got? Just going to scroll back and just hit back into the comments for a second. Matterwicks, it's been horrific weather in the North Island. That's fine, I'm not in the North Island. Oh dear. Pete, how is the lockdown going there? Lots of very, very mixed emotions down here in the South Island at the moment. They had the first case in Blenheim yesterday of the old COVID-y stuff. Up until that point, the South Island was really trying to declare a separate state and separate itself from the North Island and not allow anybody down here. That was sort of a bit of a joke, but quite a few people were saying it. Some people are very conscious about where you've come from when they know you're a traveller like me, you know, and I get around a bit and they say, yeah, have you come from Auckland? And that's one of the, when they first meet you, that's one of the first things that they say, even though you're wearing a mask. You know, are you from Auckland? Are you from around the Auckland area? They're quite scared. And rightly so, to be honest, you know. Yes! Look at that! Good luck with your next warrant, mate. You know, rightly so, because they've been absolutely fine down here for a very long time and they don't really want their way of life to be threatened. So you've got to respect that. One of my visits has been cancelled to one of the motorcycle shops for that very reason. They just don't want to take the risk. And again, it's not an issue, you know, it just doesn't matter. You know, the odd one, I did expect the odd one to get cancelled, and You just go with it, you know, I'll make it work. Okay, so meat quality, very good. I'm going to give them an 8 for that. I have had better, but it is good. Now, filling to crust ratio, very, very important on a pie. You don't want to be buying a big ton of pastry and nothing inside it. It's not too bad. There is quite, obviously, it looks a lot more because the top is that sort of puff pastry stuff, and it did have the big cheesy mound on there as well, which certainly added to the flavour. I'm going to give it, it's actually pretty good. I'm going to give it a 7 for that. Maybe even an 8, actually. I think an 8. 8's pretty good. Now, availability stroke logistics. Well, it's suddenly waking up round here. There was nobody about earlier on. Certainly no vehicles. Well, this is only available from one place in New Zealand, and that's Sheffield Pies in the village of Sheffield, which is an hour outside Christchurch. Sure enough, if you're driving across the west coast, you're going to be going past. That's not a problem. But realistically, if you want one of these pies, you've got to come here to get it. And you've got to, you know, obviously you're going to eat it while you're there because it's all pre-cooked and everything, and it's ready for you in the pie warmer. But I think you can order them online, actually, from memory. Let's have a little look. I'm just going to go on the old Tinternet, see if we can find Sheffield Pies. Homepage. There we go. Oh. I've got pie and water on my little mouse pad, and it's causing havoc, actually. Contact us, products, world famous, about us. Does it say I can order online? No, it doesn't say you can order them online. It doesn't jump out. So you've got to come here for the pie. They're not going to send it to you. They're not going to ship it to you. Is there anything in the thingy? No, it just says you can grab one and put it in the freezer. They do catering, but it doesn't appear that they do an online purchase like with the Lake Farm. So you've basically got to come here. So your logistics is pretty poor. They're really only going to get one for that. Sorry guys, if there's only one outlet in the whole of New Zealand, then I think it really justifies just a 1. Pastry taste rating. Well, I ate some of the cheesy pastry earlier on and it was very, very tasty. Let me just get rid of that bit. That's cheesy. Now I need a bit of normal stuff. I'm going to clean my palate. You know, a bit of coffee. Oh, listen to the birds. It's nice and quiet now. Good coffee too. The coffee's from them, by the way. Pastry. That's not bad. I thought I had a crack in the windscreen. I haven't. It's all right. It's only dirt. Pastry taste rating. I'm going to give them an 8 for that. That was not bad at all. There was no weird aftertaste or anything like that. Still tasty when cold. Well, it's not quite cold yet. It is getting there pretty quickly. We'll come back to that one. Now, packaging design. These pies really are meant to be eaten there and then. So all we get is a plain paper bag. No printing, no nothing. So there really is no design at all. At least they gave me something to put it in. I'll give them a 1. How's that? Because somebody designed the bag, I suppose, but it wasn't them. Recyclable score, they get 10 because it is... Sorry, no, they get 9 because it doesn't tell us it's recyclable. They get a 9 on there because it's just paper. Post heartburn. I've already had one sort of repeat so far, so we'll just hang fire on that for a minute. Stuffability score, not finished it yet. Pie server attractiveness. What she was all right, actually. I would give her a 6. We'll give her a 6. She was all right. Very helpful. Very welcoming in the morning. Definitely cooling down, but big mouthfuls of meat. Very nice. So, structure fully partiness. What do you reckon? I've been able to eat it so far, realistically, with one hand, which is always a good sign. It's doing pretty well, actually, considering. Whether it's pure luck or what, I've no idea, but this particular sample's doing all right. I'm going to give it a 6. Well, no, because we've got to consider all the shrapnel on the bonnet as well, because if you ate this in your car, you'd have a major problem with all the flaky pastry. I think a 5. We'll give it a 5. I think that's fair. We'll give it a 5. Okay, going in again. Now, sorry, back to the comments. Oh, here we go, Sheldon. Bit of information on the mill. Can't remember how long I've had it for, or much about it, to be honest. Haven't used it for 10 years. What about Courtney Duncan, world motocross champ again? Seriously, I've not been watching the news, Sheldon. That is phenomenal if that's the case. Good job. Bloody good. Sheldon again. Should be a chuck key for the collet chuck somewhere. Good emoji. Well, you know, Sheldon, I'm going to be back. So just dig it out. If you find it, I'll pick it up. Yes, probably early, well, probably mid-January, I would say, after holidays. Wow. This is a really nice pie. It is, and if they were available at every petrol station in New Zealand, this may well become my go-to pie, actually. It's really good. More big chunks of meat. And the cheese. Some viewers have commented before, you know, some pies have got like the processed cheese in them, some have got real cheese. This tastes like real cheese, it really does. It's a quality pie. You can see why they're world famous. The bonnet's covered in pastry. Okay. The pie is done. Very satisfying, actually. Still tasty when cold. Well, the last bite wasn't stone cold, but it was pretty close. And it's still good. I'm going to give him a 9 for that. It was really good, actually. Post heartburn, it's pretty well settled at the moment. I mean, I've got an hour's drive to do to get back to Christchurch, so I may review this score by the time I get back, but at the moment, what do you reckon, 8 or a 9? I don't know. I'm toying between the two, 8 or a 9. Oh, I think they get a 9. They've only had one so far, so it could drop. That's a tentative score at the moment. Stuffability scores, the last one. Am I hungry still? I absolutely aren't. Am I bloated? Am I too stuffed to walk anywhere? No, I'm not. That will be a score of a 10. It's gone down to 8 on the heartburn. Stuffability is really good, actually. Definitely don't want anything else to eat. Still got my coffee to drink, so I'm going to go with an 8 for that one as well. So I'll turn you around and you give me a hand, just double checking my arithmetic. Hang on a second. Holy moly, this is complicated. We've got a bit of wind building up. There we go. Okay, so we've got 14, 22, 30, 38, 39, 47, 56, 57, oh my god, 57, 66, 74, 82, 88. So it's done better than the Starbucks already. So it's got a score, I believe, of 88. Just to run through the scores again, we've got the taste stroke flavour at 9. Structure fully partners, it got a 5 because it was very, very flaky. You can see all the bits on the bonnet of the truck. Runnability was 8, that was excellent. Meat quality was actually really, really good. I might even put that up to a 9 actually, I think, because it was really good meat in there. So that's going to go up to 89. We'll start again. 89. Okay. Filling crust ratio was pretty good too at 8. Available logistics was only 1 because there's only one shop selling it in New Zealand. Pastry taste rating is 8. Still tasty when cold was very good, 9. I'm not sure if it'd be one that I'd want to drag out of the glove box 3 days later, but even so, it's still pretty good when it's cold. Packaging design was woefully poor. It would have been nice just to have some kind of logo on the bag. You know, I know it costs money, but it just reinforces the brand, you know. Recyclable score 9 because it's a paper bag. I didn't get a 10 because it hasn't got the recyclable symbol on the bag, which they could also put on if they did the printing, and they get another point there as well. Post heartburn, got an 8. That may still drop. I do feel that there's something else going on down there. Stability score was an 8, and of course the pie server attractiveness. They've obviously put some effort into choosing the pie servers. They got a 6. Well done. Good job, Sheffield Pies. Right, tidy up. Stick that on there. Thanks for the pen, Jared. Right, turning you guys around. There we go. Awful. Oh, I nearly lost the coffee then. Jeez. Right, bear with me. I'm going to go get me cigarettes, and then we'll go through the comments. Like I say, what a funny live stream off the bonnet of the truck. But we've done it before, and I'm sure we'll do it again. But I think it's better out here than it is inside the truck. We all know what the inside of a truck looks like. And if I'd eaten that pie inside the truck, I'd have some serious cleaning up to do before I go back up to Auckland, that's for sure. I think it's time for a new lighter. So, where did we get to? Let's have a look. Thanks for all the information there, Sheldon. Do appreciate it. Let's turn the old laptop around a little bit. John Nuttall, you have the Christchurch Wizard under the tarp. Lol. I hope not. Matawix, and remember the infamous the infamous massage parlor website incident about the light bulb, etc. Yes, that demonetized that video very, very quickly, that live stream. But hey, you know, we all make mistakes. Made it a bit different, didn't it? Oh, God. In actual fact, little story there. I did that live stream from, I think it's called Strangers Lane, where there's like a little plethora of restaurants and pubs and stuff all down this little alleyway. And it turns out that one of the waiters, young lad, was serving me on that particular live stream. And when I went back there a few days ago, I had Eloise with me. We were on our way heading south through the South Island, the start of the trip. He came up and he said, "Hey, do you remember me?" And I said, "Not really." He said, "Well, I remember you because you did a live stream when you were here last, when I was, when we were both there at the same time." And he said, I asked you after the live stream because I was interested in going into the automotive industry, and you gave me a few pointers. You know, what part of the industry would be good to go into, because he wanted to be a mechanic, a technician. And the advice that I gave him, I talked him through it. We probably had 10-15 minutes of a chat. There was not many customers around, and I said, look, if you're starting from scratch and you're a clever lad, you want to be going into the electrical side. The auto electric side of the automotive industry. Learn that particular trade, because that's where the money is. You get to keep your hands reasonably clean. You earn good money. You're invoicing out top dollar, and you'll be able to eventually be a man in a van, and you go to different dealers and invoice them for your work, and you'll have a better lifestyle doing that than being stuck behind a hoist in one particular workshop. And he said to me, I really appreciated the advice that you gave me about a year ago. I'm now working for Caterpillar, and I work on the big Caterpillar plant machinery, and I'm learning how to do the electrical side, the diagnostic side, when they have fault codes and all that kind of stuff. And I was really pleased for him, and he was very, very grateful for the advice, because it really absolutely changed what he thought was going to be his career path. I mean, to work for Cat, you know, I mean, that's a pretty big company, and he'll get some really good training there too. It'll set him up for life, all that. So, Pete, nice and crunchy, sounds good. It was actually a revelation. It looked, from the appearance of the outside of the bag, which was a really greasy bag, I thought, oh God, here we go, it's gonna be a really greasy, horrible pie. But it wasn't. It was actually really, really good. It was just a bit of grease on the base of the pie, that's all. Now then, random TJ. Pie is another of many things I miss about New Zealand. There's pies everywhere, there really is. It's really good. It's going to take me a very long time to survey all the pies. In fact, I don't think it's even possible. It'll just go on forever. Simon, some big bits of meat. There really was. It was very nice, Simon. Simon Smith. Evening, Andy. I'm in Sheffield tonight, lol. Different Sheffield, obviously. Madowix, if I have a negative test, they have no reason to cancel your appointment. If I have a negative test, they have no reason to cancel your appointment. Yeah, I suppose, but I mean, there is a period of time from when you've had the test done to when you get your results, you know, to when you go on. I mean, I do, although I take all the precautions, keep my distance, wear the mask, that kind of stuff. There's becoming a huge reusable mask shortage now in the South Island. I went to about 7 or 8 different shops to go and find one that was available. I ended up getting one from Glassons. Don't tell anybody. But they had them. They were only $10 and it fits really well, so I'm quite happy with that. But you know, you do meet lots more people since your test. You can't have a test done every day. It would just, you'd have no brain left. It would all be red raw up there. So, you know, there is still a possibility that you might have picked something up. Although it's quite small, there is a chance. And you've got to respect their decision. You know, you can't force yourself upon them. It's not a problem. I can do things remotely. I can do a Teams meeting with them. I can do a Skype. I can do just a general phone call just to see how they're getting on. As long as you're maintaining some kind of a contact. And I did go last time I was down a few months ago. So it's not the end of the world. And I'm sure that I'll pop in again probably in January, February if things get better. Now then, where did we get to? Golly. Oh, there's loads. Drew Dastardly. There must be homemade, these must be homemade pies. They are. Well, they make them at the shop. Laughing at giving it a 1 for not having an Amazon shipping empire. The pie looks delicious, by the way. Yeah, I mean, having an online ability to purchase like Lake Farms, and there's not many that do it, and in fact they're the only one that I'm aware of at the moment, you know, dramatically broadens their marketplace, and they would sell a lot more pies, but they only have a small bakery around the back of the actual cafe itself, so there's a limit to capacity. And if they seem to be really busy. There's lots of people pulling in and buying pies, you know, and it's quite early on a Sunday morning, so they're going to sell all the pies they can make, I reckon. Rob Hickey, that does look like a nice puff pastry. It's very nice. There he goes. Pete, if you need to market that pie everywhere, would you make it? You would make a mint. You absolutely would. I'm sure of it. Maybe they're just trying to keep it exclusive to that particular store, and you've got to go there to get it. Drew Dastardly, I've never encountered a fully enclosed pie with a flaky puff bake on the top in the UK. Looks great, and having those sprinkles of cheese on top, they've all gone nice and crispy. Really made it quite enjoyable to eat, to be honest. What was the price? It was, what was it? I can tell you actually, it's on the thingy. It was $6.50, so pretty much about the same price as the one at the BP that I get, the gourmet steak and cheese. So, you know, quite comparable, and I would actually rate it from a taste perspective. Oh, just lost another one. I'll mark that on later on. Purely looking at a taste perspective, definitely tastier than the one at the Wild Bean Cafe at the BP's. But you've got to look at the broader picture, you know. If you're desperate for a pie and you're really hungry, you can't just jump in your truck and drive 7 hours to one particular shop. It's just not practical. Even though I like to drive around, that's not practical. So the Wild Bean Cafe ones score higher on the logistics side, and you know, you've got the overall score encompasses all of those factors. Where are we now? Simon, Drew Dashley, I'm sure Morrison's do one like that on their hot counter. There you go. Pete, 89, you're right. Thank you. Jim K, hello guys, good morning, Jim. Welcome to Sheffield. It's not raining at the moment, which is nice. It was earlier on. It was looking pretty dismal, to be honest, for a live stream. Nee Wissen, hello Nee, welcome back. Been a while. Good day to you, sir. Hope you're having a great day. Hope your drive is safe. It's going very well, actually. With the old milling machine in the back of the ute, she's a little bit top heavy. Got to take it steady on the corners, but it hasn't moved yet, so Sheldon and I strapped it down really well. Proof of the pudding. Machine NZ. Oh, morning Andy, how's the trip going? The trip's going brilliantly because I've bought myself a milling machine. Don't tell Mrs. Mechanic. She's probably watching, actually. I'll be getting some grief later on, spending more money for the workshop. But it came up, I knew the history, it came from Sheldon. Sheldon's a great guy, he looks after his gear very well. So I knew it had come from a good home, and it's perfect for the workshop. So again, thank you, Sheldon. Really appreciate letting that one escape your workshop. Simon Smith, Andy, I work for MWM, which is a Caterpillar company. Work on big gas generators. Works on the big gas generator side of CAT. Bloody good. Well, that's interesting stuff, actually. I've never really worked on a gas generator before. Simon, have you not got a brand that can't be mentioned mask? They gave me one right on the very first, when COVID first hit New Zealand, they gave me one, and it has the name down the side. And I thought, well, I'm stuck at home, I can't go anywhere, I don't need it at the moment, so I put it somewhere in the office. And then Eloise came down to stay, and she decided to rearrange the office and tidy up the little cubby hole that I work out of. And I have no idea where it is. I cannot find it for the life of me. So I had to improvise and get something else. I've been using disposable ones for a while, and the last one Ben gave me, and it was about three or 4 weeks old. It was getting pretty manky, to be honest. It was quite embarrassing wearing it. It was all black and grubby, and it had bits of oil on it, and it was just nasty. It was really nasty. So that has now gone. But thanks, Ben, for lending me that. It's got a nice, I find if they have too wider straps around the ears, my ears fold around and they keep falling off. So the one that I chose had quite thin straps on it, which was good. Mazowitz, have you done a Dad's Pie review yet? Oh, another repeat. It's losing points by the minute. I think we have done a Dad's Pie. I can't remember, to be honest. I'm sure it's on there. There's quite a lag on the live stream, actually. I'm just watching the screen now, and it's we're still doing the ear bit at the moment. Now then, Dads are best. They're all right. I even had a steak and chocolate Dad's Pie, which sounds bad, but it's good. I don't know if I could bring myself to eat a steak and chocolate, to be honest. It just sounds wrong, doesn't it? So I suppose you could almost be comparable to like a 3-wheel motorcycle that's got 2 wheels at the front and 1 at the back. It looks completely wrong, but once you get on it and ride it, everything just falls into place. They're an amazing bike to ride. Inspire massive amounts of confidence on the corners. Purple Monkey 1974 is the mill made by Myford. It's not a Myford one. I can guarantee that. Machine NZ milling machine, cool. Thanks for the offer of picking up the surface grinder, but the guy started messing me about. Really? That's not something you would do when you're trying to sell something. That's crazy. So I said to him, forget it. Just as well, lol. Yeah, should be pretty loaded up if we'd had that in there. I don't know how big it was, but I can guarantee the tailgate would have been down right now. Yeah, and I've still got a motorcycle to collect. I have. I've got a bike to get in the back of there. It might have to go in bits. I'll have to pull the wheels out on the front forks for sure, I think. That's Tuesday's job. Matterwicks, who is Eloise? Eloise is my youngest daughter, and she's now living in Queenstown. She's got a job down there. She works for an outdoor pursuit type business. Well, not a pursuit, an outdoor recreational store that sells tents and sleeping bags, that kind of thing. And it's a brand new store. So she's been given the 2IC. So I suppose deputy manager you would call that in England. And they're just busy trying to get the store set up. And the actual fact, I think their first day of opening was yesterday, from memory, if they hit the deadline, because when I dropped her off, they still had the painters and stuff in there, so it was all looking a bit last minute, to be honest. If I was the project manager for that store, I'd be sweating buckets when I dropped her off. I tell you, it wasn't looking good. Drew, steak and ale, especially Guinness, equals good. Steak and chocky wocky. Yeah, got you. I'm totally in agreement with you there, mate. Steak and chocolate, honestly. Nee Wissen, do you find it hard in any ways being on the road for lengths of time, or do you enjoy it? This is probably on a par with the longest single on the road trip that I've done away from home. It's nearly 3 weeks away, and if you include the trip up to Auckland to collect Eloise, I went on the Monday and I'm getting home on a Saturday night, so it's bar one day, it really is pretty much a 3-week trip. It can get boring on your own, but I enjoy the driving. I don't mind. I just have to be conscious about, driving if you're tired. You've got to stop and take breaks and that kind of thing. And I do try to link in a few extra things on the trip to try to sort of break up the boredom a little bit. I do enjoy visiting the dealers, absolutely. It's been a while since I've seen most of them. It's good to catch up, see how they're getting on, and to try and solve problems that they've got with particular vehicles when I'm there. More often than not, because I do try and plan ahead, and I give them a reasonable amount of notice before I turn up. If they've got a problem vehicle where it's got maybe an intermittent fault or something and they're not too sure, then, oh, I've got a hair look, then they'll often get that vehicle in for when I'm there, and we can, if not find the fault, we can discuss options and do a bit of testing and stuff and try and give them some kind of direction. Unfortunately, I only have a finite period of time that I can be with that particular dealer. I have a schedule to stick to. But I do try and give them as much time as I possibly can, and get all the admin side of it caught up while I'm there. If there's any warranty claims that need to be done, then I'll get those done while I'm there. So everything's sort of reset for when I leave. That's the plan, and then they're good to go for the next few months. Matterwicks, you remind me of how pies give you heartburn. Sometimes they do. Most times I have a bakery pie, I get bad stomachache. As I'm getting older, the old heartburn thing is definitely getting worse. I travel around with a huge bottle of Gaviscon. That usually lasts me 3 or 4 weeks. I have some, I suppose, similar kind of things in tablet form on the dash. And yeah, there are some foods that really kick it off, to be honest. I had, the other night, I had a really bad experience, actually. I went to the Fat Duck restaurant in Ashburton and had some spicy, it was only a starter. I wasn't particularly hungry, and I had a starter which was spicy chicken. And well, I was actually woken up middle of the night and well, pretty much vomited, to be honest. It was a really bad burning sensation down my throat. Obviously the stomach acid had been eaten away at my throat while I was asleep until I finally woke up and got rid of it. Basically, it was not nice at all. It took me about 2 hours to get back to sleep. Had a couple of cups of tea just to try and soothe the throat, some nice hot drinks, and eventually go back to sleep. But it wasn't good at all. And I think the little valve. I mean, I'm not a doctor at all, as you well know, but there's a little valve that seals off your stomach from your throat. And I think as you get older, that valve sometimes can't close as well as it should do. There's a specific way I have to sleep, which helps to minimize the problems. But sometimes I suppose if I roll over in my sleep, unconsciously, that's when things can go really bad. Anyway, nobody's perfect, and we're all getting older. Simon Roll, it's not a full load. I'm sure you're not overloaded yet. No, it did sit down quite a bit when we loaded the mill on with the forklift. Sheldon was chuckling. He was it was that sort of mad chuckle. Oh, look at that, it's going down. And then I had a lot of stuff to put in it, which of course was quite heavy, and that made it even lower. But she's not dragging her ass at the moment. The bike's only a trail bike, so it's not over heavy. It's more just the volume, but I'll get it on. I had actually scheduled to pick up a couple of big gate posts as well when I get back to the North Island heading home. There are a foot by a foot timbers for the gate posts, 2.4 meters long. They're going to be really heavy, and I think I'm going to have to put that off until my next trip. They haven't actually told me that they're ready for collection yet, because it's such large size timber. It goes on like a back order until they get a decent sized tree in where they can cut it and stuff. So I don't think they're going to be ready anyway for collection, but even if they were, I don't think I can get them in, not safely, to be honest. I mean, there'll be a few hundred kgs just in timber there, and we're already well loaded up, so next time, I think. It can wait. I'm not going to get a chance to put them in anyway, to be honest, not for a while. Drew Dastardly should always slug down a mug of tea with any pie to assuage any tummy problems. Yeah, that's a good call. I normally have a coffee with a pie, so it should help. But I had a cider with that chicken, and maybe that didn't help. The sugar in the cider, I suppose, and maybe, aggravated it a bit. Roger Heaps, sounds like you have had, oh my God, you have hiatus hernia. Hiatus hernia? What the hell's that, Roger? Or is that what I was describing? Never heard of that before. But it's not a major problem. It's just every now and again. But I have got used to the Gaviscon taste, I must admit. I've had it for probably about 20 years, in all honesty. It's not the end of the world. You just try and be careful. Garlic would kill me. Now, I'm not a vampire, but garlic would absolutely kill me. I used to love having garlic on all sorts of stuff, but now it's a no-go zone. It's just not an option. If you have garlic, massive heartburn every single time. Yeah, just avoid the garlic. So while I was down in Invercargill, I'm not sure if I mentioned it in the live stream or not actually, but on the Sunday, yeah, it would have been last Sunday live stream. So earlier in the week, I picked up the epoxy for the stator rewind. There was a company, and I'll mention it in the actual video when I do the stator. But there was a company down there who was very kind enough to supply me a small amount. I supplied my own tin, sealable tin, nice new one. I got from a paint shop just around the corner, and they supplied me, and they only charged me $7 plus GST, which was fantastic. Very, very happy. So we've got that in the tin now, and at some point when I get back, I'll be able to get on and get that stator done, get it back in the bike, and have the bike running. So it's one less thing to push in and out of the workshop. At least I can ride it out, which will be good. Mrs. Mechanic can start to use it as well. Now then, Matterwicks, how can you safely park the ute at hotels with all that gear on the back? Well, to be perfectly honest, and when I pulled in, I didn't have the tarpaulin on for the first part of the trip. I just didn't have time to put it on, and it wasn't a rainy day. So when I pulled in, when I pulled in at Taylor's Motel in Ashburton for the night, the lady actually said to me, is your truck going to be okay? Because she could see the milling machine in the back. She said, you're not far from the road. It might get stolen. I said to her, look, there's nobody, not even Jeff Capes could lift that milling machine out the back of the house. It weighs a lot. We're talking a fair few hundred kgs, and it's also incredibly unwieldy as well. I said, you're not just going to lift it off. Plus, you'd have all the straps to take off, or at least cut. It's not going anywhere. I wasn't worried. But I did put, that night before I went to sleep, in fact before I went to the restaurant, I put the tarpaulin on, so nobody has a clue what's under there really. It's just a load. I'm sure it'll be just fine, and I'm pleased to put the tarp on because it has rained a couple of times since. Drew, my old mum takes, oh god, here we go, Lansoprazole, I can't pronounce it, from the doctor for acid reflux. I might have to speak to the doctors next time I go about it, actually. See if there's something I can take to just calm it down. It's not very often, but when it is, especially if it happens during the night while you're asleep, it's not nice at all, because it's too late. It's already burnt all your throat. Now then, where do we go? Machine NZ, what make is the milling machine? I can't remember. I did take... Oh, my phone's in the car. I did take a photo, but only one or two photos, I think it was. But I think it could be Chinese. It's pretty old. It's not a new Chinese thing. Or it could be Taiwan. Quite a lot of mills come out of Taiwan. They've ended up here in New Zealand. It's definitely not... It's getting busy, isn't it? It's definitely not English, I know that. But we'll take a closer look once it's in the workshop. We'll have a good mooch around it and see what we can find, and you'll get the specs of it. But it looks in very good condition. It's been well looked after. Oh, here we go. Look, Purple Monkey 974. Watch the vid when you visited the tie down factories today. You're still using them today? Yes, the same tie downs are still in use. We got 40 of them at the time. Plus they made me a couple of Andy Mechanic ones. One's in the workshop and another one is holding my toolbox against the back seat in the ute. And they're really good ratchet straps. I can't vouch for them enough, to be honest. They made me them up exactly to the spec that I wanted, the length, the width of the web, and they work really, really well. I use them all the time on the ROVs and the ATVs and stuff when I'm strapping them down. And I think it was 22 metre and 23 metre ones, and yeah, just can't fault them, to be honest. And not one has failed yet, and that must have been well over a year ago, maybe 18 months ago now. Sheldon, Machine NZ, it's either Russian or Chinese from memory. We'll confirm that, Sheldon, once I get it in the workshop. I'm going to have to put the roll bar down on the digger so I can get the digger in the workshop as I load it. Oh, I've got to find a place for it yet. Honestly, there's no room in there. John Nuttall, try malt tablets and less stress. Oh, I don't think I'm stressed, to be honest. I mean, maybe it's denial, but I don't feel stressed at all. I just do my job, and yeah, there's always lots of things to do, but I think I've got to a point now where I just bumble along and get done what I can, and what I can't get done I'll do next week, basically. I used to be very, very stressed in the UK when I used to have the off-road centre. There was a lot of things going on in the background, many problems. I was spinning a lot of plates to keep that thing going. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but it was an animal of a business to run. It really was. Cash flow year on year was up and down. It was very seasonal. When you've got a fleet of 87 vehicles to keep going, and you've already got them booked out, and then the day before one of them fails that you need, like the Unimog or the Supercat or something, you know, you were really against the clock to get it fixed, and you had to come up with some pretty ingenious ways of fixing it with what you had to hand. Had to carry a lot of stock of parts as well. A lot of staff to manage, you know, and the places we went as well, all the green lanes and things that we used during the week. Sometimes the national parks closed them, or they'd just put a padlock on it, even though it was a public road and it hadn't been closed. They used to just put padlocks on, or farmers used to put padlocks on. I used to send Ben out early sometimes on a morning if we knew of a problem gate, and he'd take the rechargeable angle grinder and he'd just go and clear all the gates of padlocks before we went out. It was that kind of business. I made a lot of enemies doing it. A lot of the locals didn't like me for what I did. I remember one farmer put a massive concrete block in front of a gate, and I'd spotted it the day before driving down the road, so I went out early with the Unimog and just dragged his concrete block away. He never saw it again. I just dragged it away for miles, got rid of it. No more concrete block, Mr. Farmer, you can't be doing that, you know. It was a public road, we had every right to go down there, but you just had to do stuff that you shouldn't have had to do if people stuck to the rules. They have a law in the UK, once a road, always a road, and that's why there's so many green lanes over there. They can eventually close them, but it takes them a lot of admin to do a permanent closure. They are allowed to close them temporarily for repairs, but then the council started to abuse that, and as soon as one temporary closure finished, then they'd just instantly put another one on. I remember actually one of the closures on a track very close to us, a green lane close to us. The closure ceased at midnight, New Year's Eve, at the end of the year. The following morning we were down that track, and we took a lot of Land Rovers and stuff down there, and they'd done no repairs at all. It was absolutely destroyed by the time we finished driving down that track. There was lots of winch work going on, and then sure enough, 2 days later it was closed again. That's just how they operate. It was you know, bad, really. And they were still claiming money every year from the government for the repairs that they hadn't done. Bullshit, really. But I could talk about green lanes in the UK and stuff for hours and hours and hours, and there's a lot of stories about that, but maybe one day will come out. Where do we get to? Hang on, Simon, Scotland. Oh, you guys are all talking in the background now. Ramble on. Hang on. Right, Dave C. If they can carry it off, they can have it. That's right. Machine NZ, Sheldon. Sheldon, thanks. Thanks, Sheldon. Simon was up in Scotland a while back. There was a place called Inverkip. Every time the sat nav said Inverkip, I heard you saying Invercargill. Sorry, Simon. Matawix, I take the Lampazole stuff from my doctor. It works. 1 tablet each morning. Right, I'm gonna grab my phone and take a picture of that. Hang on. Because I think that's probably a good idea. Actually, we should get that organised. It's gonna work. That's gonna work. There we go. Sorry, I know I'm old school, but it's just the easy way of doing it now. Mrs. Mechanics messaged me. Let's see what's going on. I'm not reading that out. Cheers, honey. Oh, she's got a week to calm down before I get home. But no, there's no tool girls under the tarpaulin, not this time. Matawix, driving long trips always makes acid stomach worse. I think you're right, because you're just not moving around, you're not aggregating what's in there. And I do like to stop every couple of hours, or an hour and a half, and just stretch my legs and, you know, just have a bit of a wander around. Definitely helps. Matawix, drink milk and yogurt each morning. You see, the problem is, milk itself gives me the problem. It really does. If I have full cream milk, really bad. If I have the green stuff, not that the milk looks green, it's just the cow. That's what I normally have in coffee and stuff now. We call it trim over here. And the same with yogurt. If I have yogurt, it causes the same problem, so it's just not an option to me. Roger, how was the stress levels after you rejected a call at the pub Tuesday night? Funny mate, thank you for that. Mrs. Mechanic is watching this live stream, so gentlemen, please be careful what you say. I'm sure Mrs. Mechanic will be having words with you, Roger, when she comes down later in the year. Simon, there is a green lane that goes through a barn, lol. I can believe it. I can absolutely believe it. I remember there was, in fact, on that same green lane, it did turn to tarmac near the far end, and the farmer decided it was a perfect place to put his silage on the tarmac, because he can scoop it up nice and easily, you know, with the loading shovel or the digger, the tractor. So of course, every time you have a rite of passage in the UK, you're legally entitled to go around any kind of obstacles. And if there's damage caused to private property to fulfill your journey, then it's down to the landowner to claim from the local council, because there shouldn't be a blockage. It's the council's job to keep the road open. You know, fallen trees or silage clamps, whatever. And of course, the farmer used to go absolutely ballistic, because he'd have 15, 20, 30 quad bikes or four-wheel drives going across his nice green grass. And it was an uphill sections that all get chewed up, and there'd be mud flying everywhere, and it just turned into I mean, I can understand it from the farmer's perspective, but move your silage clamp, mate, and then we won't have a problem. Now then, hang on. Matawix, that's not the correct spelling. What? I'll get the bottle and give you the correct name. Cool. Okay, yeah, flick me an email. That'd be cool. If it's in my emails, I can't lose it. That'd be really helpful. Cool. I've caught up with the comments. Bloody good. Right, coffee time. We are an hour and 4 minutes in already. How does that happen? That's ridiculous. It really is. So I was at the pub last night, back at Strangers Lane. That wasn't the time that the chap, the waiter, told me about the previous live stream, but I was there and had a chicken burger for tea, I think it was, which was fine, no problems. Only a small one. It was like a mini chicken burger thing, and I'd finished my tea and I was busy watching a few videos, technology connections and bits and pieces. And Engineering Explained as well. I do like that one. And this group of lads turned up and they're obviously on some kind of a pub crawl, or I don't think it was a stag night, to be honest. It was just a pub crawl for the night. And they each had their own piece of paper and they had to write down, in fact the pubs were all listed and the times that they had to be there. So if they got broken up as a group, they knew where they needed to go. And one of the lads walked up and said, "Now then, Mr. Young, how's it going?" He recognised me. I mean, seriously, you can't go anywhere these days, can you? I had no idea who it was. My apologies if I've met you in the past. I do meet a lot of people and I do forget their names very quickly, unfortunately. Roger Heaps, sorry Mrs. Mechanic, absolutely, totally my fault. Cheers, Roger. You need a good wingman. Oh, that implies other things were going on. No, they weren't. There was definitely... Although, to be fair, if they were serving pies out of that pub, they'd have got a 10 out of 10 for the pie servers, for the waitresses. Very nice. Good venue. Now then, I've just dug myself a massive hole again, haven't I? Lambros Stefanas. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Lambros. Welcome to Sheffield in the South Island, little village. Oh, here we are, Matowicz. I still can't pronounce it. Pete, time flies when you're having fun. I need to take another photo. Hang on. Oh, come on, phone. Time flies when you're having fun. It sure does. Simon Ross, stop digging a hole, Mr. Young. I know, I'm terrible for it. I really am. I cause myself a lot of problems. But, I mean, to be fair, I'm getting better. I am improving. I'm not such a bad lad anymore. I'm not saying anymore. Right, that's the comments. There aren't any. Okay, dug myself another hole. That's right. So we've done the pie. It fared pretty well, although it has lost a couple of points. In fact, I'll make a note of that now, actually, if I can find it again. It did lose a couple of points with the old reflux side of it. Was definitely some stuff going on. Oh, South Island trip. All sorts in here. Lots of secrets for work that you're not allowed to see. Here we go, look. So it was down to 8. I'm going to take it down to a 6. Sorry, but I am. But that's just it. You know, it could just be a personal thing, but you know, maybe you guys wouldn't suffer the same way as I do. But it's just the way it is. So we've dropped another 2. So it's down to 87, gentlemen, on the score. Still not a bad score at all. 87, right. And obviously I'll be making up the little magnetic strips and stuff when I get back, and we'll get them added to the leaderboard. Pete, we get better with age. Yeah, we do. Certainly have a lot more confidence the older you get, I think. You know, just don't care anymore, in all honesty. So we are approaching the end of the live stream. I've sort of run out of things to talk about. But, well, what's going to happen next? Okay, what's going to happen next for the next few days? Well, it's a long weekend here in New Zealand. We've got Labour Day on Monday, so there's not a lot happening. Although I am actually doing some service training on Monday afternoon, just to finish that off. There's a little bit we didn't manage to get done because the gentleman didn't have a login. I believe he's got it now, so we can do that. And then I'm off to go and see a motorcycle shop in Ashburton, and they've given me a motorcycle, which is very, very nice. I've had my eye on it for a couple of years. It's a model that Ben already has, and we desperately, well, the reason why I have my eye on it is the engine's seized up, which is fine because I just need the gearbox parts out of it. Ben's got the same model which he's done over 100,000 Ks on, and there's a tremendous amount of backlash through the transmission, through the gearbox side. We haven't pulled it, we haven't stripped it down. I've no idea what it is yet. Probably just everything's just worn out, I imagine. So we'll be able to just transplant the gearbox components across, get it rebuilt, and then that's another one fixed. And it needs a new cam chain anyway, does Ben's bike, so I can get that one done at the same time. But you know, the guys just gave me it. It's been there a couple of years, sat outside in the rain, not good. Well, actually, no, it's not in the rain. It's under a little lean-to. The last time I saw it, so it is relatively dry, but it was getting into a really bad state of corrosion. So, you know, it's great that they give me it for free. I was going to pay for it about a year ago, but now they're just like, nah, we're having a clear out, you can have it. So, brilliant. Cheers, lads. Cliff organised that for me, I can say that. Thank you very much, Cliff. Really appreciate it. And Brian, if you are watching at some point in the future, and it is Brian's bike, Brian, thank you very much. Do appreciate it. It's going to go to a good home, and it's going to solve a problem for me, because to buy the new parts, it just wasn't worth doing. They were actually, even at the price that I pay, it was quite a lot of money to replace the whole gearbox, which is what I'd have done. Now then, John Nuttall, hit the like button. He's got a mill. Absolutely, I have a milling machine now. I can do milly stuff. Should be great. Roger Heaps, enjoy the rest of your weekend. I will. This afternoon, don't know what I'm doing this afternoon. Just driving around, I suppose. Head back into Christchurch maybe. Matawix, is the Honda CB working? The Honda CB 750 is running. All the parts have now turned up. All I need now is a time machine to get the work done. I have got a stack of stuff to do when I get back. I've got 4 ROVs to service, each of which takes probably about 2 days to do. I've got a fabrication project to finish, which is those suspension braces. There's another 15 kits of those to do. I've now got 50 of those footwell kits to make. I ordered the laser cutting last week. Thursday or Friday, I think it was. I ordered that, so that should all be ready hopefully when I get back to Auckland next. Get those picked up, and then we've got a lot of work to do to get those done and painted. Plus I've got my day job. Yeah, so the CB 750, it will happen, but it's not going to happen immediately. Hopefully it'll be finished by the end of the year. That's what I'm hoping. Cigarettes got out. Bugger. Need a new lighter. It's not going to happen, people. Okay. Try a venison pie. I think I did try a venison pie somewhere. I didn't like it. Simon Roll, now you have the mill, you're going to need a mill edge finder tool. Okay. Whatever one of those is. I'll do that. John Nuttall, the go-kart kid is now 36. I know, mate, that go-kart. It's moved off the main bench. It's hung up in the rafters of the workshop. I've got the pipe. I've got the pipe bender. I haven't got the time. It's crazy. It really is. I need more time. Anyway, nothing I can do while I'm in the South Island, that's for sure. I'll be taking some holiday over Christmas, but then I'm doing the bike trip, so that might not happen if COVID carries on the way it is. They had over 100 cases yesterday and another 100 cases the day before. It's on the move, people, and it's worrying. It really is. No stress. I'm not stressed about it, John. I just know I have it to do, and it'll get done when it gets done, and nobody hassles me. Nobody's saying I need it tomorrow. You know, they all understand I'm a busy chap. Anyway, that's it. We're done. Coffee's cold. Cigarette won't light. Got an hour's drive back. I might go down some little back roads and go exploring and see what I find. Okay, crew. Well, listen, thank you very much for joining me from Sheffield, about an hour west of Christchurch. Little village, great pie shop called Sheffield Pies. If you're ever going through, call in, get yourself a pie, check it out. Other than that, Sheffield really has nothing else to offer from what I can see. Yes, it could be a COVID Christmas. It absolutely could be the way things are going. Anyway, we'll make the best of it, as we always do. And if we go into level 4 lockdown again, then it'll give me more time in the workshop, won't it? Okay, crew, well, until next time, thank you again, all of you, for joining and supporting the channel in the ways that you do. It is very, very much appreciated. And a huge thank you to Sheldon for allowing me to take part of his workshop away. Appreciate it, mate. And we will have that pie when I come down next. Okay, crew, take care. Cheers. Over and out.